I haven't been able to live my life much because I don't have a car. If I only focused on money first instead of blindly going to college to appease family, I would have been far better off. I've wasted so much time, and I would have been in an amazing position with the money I could have saved. Thank you for tuning into the It Could Be Worse podcast. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button because it doesn't cost you a dime and helps us make pennies. And let's just get into it because I promise you, no matter how bad your day was, it can't top these. Today's theme was, this was from a thread I found, right?
Yes.
And it was the pettiest reason you stop talking to someone.
Ooh, this is going to be fun.
Right? And the first one is, he was smaller than he looked in his pictures. I had to bend over to give him a kiss and I'm 5'6".
Bend over to give him a kiss.
No, I have to give him credit. She's probably in heels and he's 5'4",
Probably 5'4".
right? Like
5'4", 5'3".
if she's 5'6" in heels, like it's possible. It's possible, right?
Yeah,
So
she had a Kevin Hart with him.
this is a good reason. This isn't even petty. This is just facts. She started making TikToks about me.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, we're done.
No.
We're done. No,
Are they
I'm
good
not.
TikToks?
Neither. I don't care.
You
if
don't
I hear that robotic voice talking about anything about my personal
Look
life,
at my boyfriend.
we're done. We're done.
This is how my boyfriend makes his morning smoothie.
He didn't have. We met on the street and he didn't have a phone number, so he gave me his Facebook. His picture was him holding corn on the cob.
Oh, God.
That's a serial killer.
That's a serial killer or somebody who's really into, like, county fairs? Either way. Same diff.
He sent subpar shirtless pics with a caption "Enjoy," and she put a kissy face. My friends now call him charity work.
Charity work?
Yes.
Oh, that's bad.
Yes.
That's mean.
I mean, to be fair, guys, when they're taking pictures, need to put in a little bit more effort.
Yeah, no, if you look at, like, girl selfies, they're great. Like,
Well,
these are amateur photographers doing great work for themselves.
It's because they take like 10,000 of them. In any
It's
moment.
entirely trial and error,
Yeah,
but
no,
they still have a good eye for which ones are good or not.
If you like take 10,000 pictures and make this an hour affair with your friends, yeah, you're gonna have the best pictures. Guys take one and done. Two tops.
Every guy selfie looks the same. It looks like that one, the picture, the Facebook picture of like your 50-year-old dad with the racing shades and the baseball cap taken at this angle with them going
in the truck.
In the truck, yes.
Yeah, guys, we gotta up our picture game. Mm-hmm. He had smaller feet than me.
Smaller.
That's petty. Painted our initials on a rock and brought it to my work at a busy bar. I kind of think that's cute as a couple's activity.
But, like, not at work.
Not at work. And even then, it's a stretch because it have to be, like, a rock from, like, your very first date somehow, right?
No, that or if you're an astrology person, like, oh, this is my birthstone.
Nope, we're done. We're moving on. I hate astrology people. I can't be bothered.
Hey, I didn't say I was an astrology person.
Bothered.
But that's the only way to make your initials on a rock sweet is your girl is an astrology person and you're like, oh, I know your birthstone.
Astrology people, it's the most inane stuff because they'll be channeling their inner Galileo. They will know where Jupiter is in relation to Mercury, and somehow it'll tell them that today they will drop an extra firm deuce. That's it. All of that. I literally
stole that bit from someone.
No, this is a fact. I know somebody who every morning they look at, like, if you look at their monitor, there's like 10 windows going, and it's like the stars in one, the planets orbiting in another, right? It's got like Venus waxing and waning, the moon, and then like a dragon in one of the corners, and somehow all of that gets put together to tell them that their day is going to be probably better than yesterday, or something disappointing will happen. And I hate it.
What time were you born?
No, we're not doing this. What
time were you born?
Can't be bothered. So, no, I hate astrology thing. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. Moving on. We took a train somewhere, and because he's small, instead of stepping on the platform, he jumped. Don't take trains. Don't take trains. Because if you need to jump between platforms, you're like at that bird height. Do you know what I mean by bird height?
Bird height?
I mean, like a bird could pick you up if you're out on the streets. Because if you need to jump, you're a small child. I'll say that with my chest.
That's bad.
Train platform. They're not that tall. They're not that wide. They're really. I've walked my fair share of train platforms around the world. None of them require a jump. So if you need to hop, and you're over the age of 7, dude, you gotta have somebody watching the skies for you. Like literally, you gotta have somebody watching the skies.
That's like the eagles in Alaska.
Yes.
Yeah, where the
Yes.
kids have to walk to elementary school in a line holding each other. Otherwise, one of them could get picked off by like a buzzard.
That's why he's holding your hand on the date. He's afraid of a buzzard. Honestly, at that size, a pigeon might do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
A
could.
straight pigeon. Stay out of the big city. Stay out of New York. Stay out of Seattle.
Every traffic light he hit was always a red. It had to be a sign from God. Jeez, you guys are mean.
That's so
I
bad.
ended the first date early because her voice sounded like a dirt bike. Like a dirt bike.
Like a dirt. Now I'm just thinking about what that sounds like.
Actually, no. This is going to be an unpopular opinion, but this slots in too well here. One of the unpopular opinions I found today was, honestly, voice matters more than looks, right? Like when it comes to dating, like your appearance, whatever, but like your voice. And I kind of agree.
It's the one bit that you see in every sitcom. Like, I swear to God, you know what comes to mind? The scene from Grown Ups. The scene from Grown Ups where all like 4 of the moms are like just sitting at the water park, and then this really hot dude starts walking up to them, thong, perfectly coiffed hair. He's just like 8-pack, right? He walks up to them and they're going, "Oh, how's your day been, Ja?
That's
You're
basically
looking quite great there, huh?"
she said the person that she was dating was a 10 out of 10, but he sounded like Mickey Mouse. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, no, that voice does matter a lot. And to answer your question, no, I've never seen Grown Ups because I have taste.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No, my family has poor taste. That's one of my family members' favorite movies. So I was kind of in the room and I was obligated to watch it.
I know there are bigger problems in this world. I know it. There are people starving all across the planet. But this is poverty. This next one is poverty. He didn't have a TV in his room and said we could watch something on his phone. No. You don't understand the levels you have to go through before you get to phone. That means no TV, no computer monitor,
No laptop.
no iPad,
Nope.
no old tablet lying around from 2013 that still works somehow.
My phone.
No, you had to drop all the way to phone. That is poverty.
That is
first world poverty.
he lives a life of minimalism.
You are destitute in the first world. Anywhere else you're doing great, but like in the first world, destitution.
That or he has different priorities. I guarantee that you walk into his closet and it's a walk-in closet that's like twice his size, wall to wall with shoes.
No.
No.
Because even sneakerheads have like a bigger screen. Come on.
I have seen
a bigger screen.
I know sneakerheads who they forego TV for shoes. And especially when you're buying like 3 pairs of $300 Jordans, makes sense.
This one's a bit insulting. He had post-it notes of motivational quotes all over his bedroom.
That's a bit mean.
Well, it depends. Because I have like a few, right? But like, was it wall to wall? Because wall to wall means he's going through it.
Wall to wall means he's going through it, and he just needs to.
Like, can you believe it? Having like a 12 by 12 wall is just post-it notes of people telling you, "You got this, man. Just keep going." Like,
wall to wall just means he needs therapy. But I guarantee you, it's not that bad. He's probably just got like 1 or 2, and he's yeah.
This is teaching me the importance of a room. These women are going in. His roof leaked.
His roof leaked.
It's not even his fault. That could be the landlord's fault.
Yeah,
Like-
probably. Hot tip: if you have something broken and you rent, it's your landlord's responsibility to fix it.
Facts. You should not be the one.
You should not be the one fixing it. Or if you do fix it, your landlord needs to reimburse
Yeah,
you.
no, well, it depends on state laws, but like in most states.
In most states, I'm pretty
Most
sure
states
that's
and
how it
countries.
is.
Most states and countries, yeah. I kissed her and she had the saltiest lips. Put this in all caps. She's now TikTok famous. I fumbled the bag.
She had the
Saltiest lips. Salty. Just
It's salty. Okay, I like salt, so I might have stuck with that.
No, I could not need a sip of water after I kiss you every time. No, no, no. Feel like this is the Dead Sea? No, I'm good.
Yeah, but you can float on the Dead Sea.
He was bald under the hat.
He was bald under the hat.
That's just
mean.
That's most men.
That's just mean.
That's
just male pattern baldness.
His teeth were fighting for position in his mouth.
His teeth were fighting for.
I'm not even gonna laugh at that. That's disrespectful. Because not everyone can afford braces. Like, that's actually mean. He can't help it. He can't help it. I'm sure he knows. I'm sure he knows. If he has a toothbrush and floss, he's trying his best. Okay? He didn't choose for them to be like that.
His teeth were fighting for a place in his mouth.
No.
Imagine the first thing that popped into my mind was his teeth playing a game of Punch Out. And there's Mike Tyson.
Leave him alone. He's trying. Braces are expensive. Jesus. In high school, I caught a girl I was interested in drinking porridge from a thermos.
Drinking porridge?
From a thermos.
I thought that was like...
Yeah, no, it's spoon time. Yeah,
spoon and bowl.
Spoon beat. That's fully spoon beat.
Just drinking.
She was just stone cold stunner, just porridge. I mean, I like porridge, but like that's a bit much. Shotgunning porridge?
British type beat.
When he took... Don't start with me. When he took off his shoes and had no socks on.
Oh.
So, hey, if it's Crocs, it's acceptable. That's socially acceptable, boys.
No.
No, Crocs,
If
Crofers,
they're wearing Crocs, it's done. It's over.
Crocs, Crofers, Crayons, or Croc Martens are all acceptable.
Crayons?
Croc Vans, crayons. Oh, yeah. They're the ugliest thing that I would rock in a heartbeat.
No.
Dude, put a picture up. They're disgusting.
No.
But I'd wear them.
No.
They look so comfortable.
No.
Disgusting.
No.
Croc Martens are a sin against everything. And Crofers are pretty funny. But crayons are great. Like Croc Vans, they did a collab. I think they got pulled from the shelves because they're heinous. I would buy them. I'd buy them. It's the perfect Croc, and you can fight me on that. Look at that.
No.
That's hot.
That's disgusting.
No. So if you're not wearing socks under those bad boys, and if you're a baddie wearing crayons, it's okay.
If you're wearing Crocs of any variety, it's over.
No, but the crayons are acceptable.
Nope.
Okay, he stopped talking to me because I didn't watch the Tour de France. That's just petty. Who watches the Tour de France? Well, no, it's actually very popular. Wait a minute.
It is very popular.
But who breaks up with people over not watching it? That's perfect, because then you can rope them in and watch all the best ones and highlights.
That's at least a discussion.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's a discussion before breaking up.
I know how this happened, and it's a lack of self-confidence.
What?
It's this man got somebody leagues above him,
yes,
and he doesn't want her to catch up. He asked me how my day was going at 8 a.m. That is, I have somebody I'm not worthy of. I gotta make sure they don't realize this. I gotta make sure. That's literally what that is. That's the only reason I would ask you at 8 a.m.
How's your day going?
No, that's desperation.
That or he stayed up all night and that's his day.
He had a single bed with a Michael Jordan quilt cover.
Why'd you come to his parents' house?
Men can be poor, okay?
Why'd you come to his parents' house?
Men can be poor.
Why did you go to his parents' house?
I won't give him crap for the single bed, but the quilt cover's gotta go. You can't have Jordan on there. I don't care if he's the GOAT. Couldn't stand the smell of butter. Which, honestly...
Couldn't stand the smell of butter?
Honestly, kind of same. I can't stand the smell of, like, butter, like, cooking for a while.
No.
Loses me. That's not a petty... He should have stopped talking to you. Honestly.
I mean, if you're, like, browning butter for a dish, that makes sense. But
this is rancid.
Not butter. At that point, it becomes, like, a nutty aroma.
This is rancid.
It smells
I
like
woke up
walnuts.
this morning with cuts on my leg from his long toenails.
Oh! Dude, get those treated. It might be infected.
Gollum.
Fungal infection.
Gollum. You're dating Gollum.
Fungal infection.
He sent me a video of him lip syncing in his work uniform. See? TikTok's terrible for relationships. I can't be bothered.
I worked with guys who did that.
Mm-hmm. His voice cracked in a note.
They
and
were
he said,
nice. They were just, I didn't appreciate their hobbies.
I can't do the whole TikTok thing in the work bathroom. No, you have a hoodie in your trunk and you
Mm-hmm.
change into that. Because yes, we're wages. We're all in this together. But don't be proud about it. Put the McDonald's M away. That's all.
No, I'd scroll through Instagram and I'd see his like, shout out to you, Nate. Still like you. You're great. But I just see Instagram stories from his car, just on his brakes, just lip syncing to anything and everything.
See, that's the difference between me and you right there. It's like over the course of this entire podcast, people will know everything about you, right? People won't know jack about me until the exact penny I can take this full time. The penny. I don't mean it's not that far. I mean the exact penny I could make this full time. The floodgates are opening, but up until then, it's pretty shut.
Are you teasing your life drama as DLC?
Oh yeah. If we get far enough, fast enough, and far enough, the penny, I get there. The floodgates are opening. The floodgates are opening. Right?
Okay. Sponsored by Activision, not in Minecraft.
Oh, Jesus. I mean, if they sponsor me, I'll take the money. I really would. I don't mind them too.
Announce your life story as DLC.
Jesus. No, it'd be a battle pass.
That'd be a battle pass.
Okay. He couldn't spell the word restaurant.
Couldn't spell the word restaurant. Okay.
Now you mock him. Spell it. Right now.
RESTARAUNT.
ARAUNT?
Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
That's why you read, kids.
No. I read, right? But I can't spelling bee. I get test anxiety. If I write it down,
that's the point. It's
No.
fully to screw with you.
I can write it down and look at it and go, oh, that's not right. Like, I do this with every word. I can write it down and I know intrinsically this is how it's spelled and there's no other way. But, like, spelling bee, oh, God, I will die of test anxiety.
No, I understand. It's okay. You can make every excuse you need for illiteracy. It's acceptable.
Die.
1 in 10 Americans is. I guess we found the one.
Die.
He picked up his steak with his hands at dinner.
Ooh.
Jesus.
No.
After I drove the car, he had to move the seat forward to reach the pedals.
Oh, God. That's okay.
If I ever got in my car after a girl drove it and I had to push it forwards, I'm wearing Air Force Ones till the day I die. Like you know the Air Force Ones give them a man extra boost. I'm rocking those till the day I die. Had some. Oh, never mind. This is first world poverty right here.
Yeah.
I had to call somebody he had to call somebody for directions because he didn't have the data for Google Maps.
Oh, God, no.
I didn't even know
I was
they
there.
were still doing data plans like that.
I was
that you
there
could
in
run
like
out.
freshman year high school.
There's
because
a grown man dating, calling his friends for directions.
I was still on my parents' plan at the time, and they didn't pay for unlimited data. So I'd be like, turn it on, Google Maps directions, memorize them, and then turn the data back off to get
I
somewhere.
literally didn't know people still had to deal with credit. Like that's so bad.
Yep,
That's first world poverty right there. Jesus, yeah, first world poverty right there. He fainted and broke his nose.
He fainted and broke his nose. Fainted doing what? Was he donating blood?
No, I think
I fainted donating blood.
No, I think man just fainted.
Was he getting a piercing? I fainted getting one of my piercings.
No, I think man literally just fainted because she wouldn't leave him if he did it doing a manly thing like that. You gotta remember that, right? Like, so this man
I just want to know what he's
This man
doing.
probably just had low blood sugar. Really, that's what it is, and he broke his nose.
Eat a candy bar.
And I love that. I love that. I love that. Low blood sugar broke his nose. Her first thought, ick.
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 We're done. He's
We're
not.
done. Sorry.
He's not a real man.
I can't
I can't be seen with you.
I can't be seen with a man who doesn't eat a candy bar.
Can you imagine? Oh, babes, where are you going? I'm sorry. I can't be with a man who can't manage his blood sugar.
I'm sorry, bud. You're not you when you're hungry. Eat a Snickers.
That's just mean. He thought the plural for moose was meese.
Meese.
Like, unironically.
Meese. Meese.
I matched with him on Tinder, and the first thing he said is, you could be taller. Mind you, I'm 6'3". What are they looking for?
What are they looking
6'6"? NBA players?
Yeah, maybe, I guess.
What? You guys need to stop being descriptive. They need to stop being descriptive. He wore shorts, and his legs look like crutches.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Don't skip leg day.
No, don't describe them that vividly. Just say he had skinny legs. You didn't
He had chicken feet. He
You
had
didn't
chicken
even
legs.
drag in crutches. And specifically I've noticed with these Q&As, right? Guys are meaner, but women describe things in so much. They paint a vivid picture.
They paint such a vivid picture that in and of itself is
paint
hurtful.
such a vivid picture that I'm on their side. They could be doing the most toxic things, and I'm like, no, this makes sense. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. A man should be able to manage his blood sugar. You're totally right.
No,
like,
a man shouldn't have chicken legs.
Like, yeah, no, it's totally... Anyway, right? Let's move on to the unpopular opinions, right? Which, honestly, one of these... I agree with the first one right here, which is
Are
Google
they
searches
popular
become...
opinions?
No, this one just says Google searches become useless. Which I kind of agree with, I'll be honest. Because every time I look for like a question or an answer, I throw up the Reddit after it. because you get to see a discussion about this problem. You don't just see, oh, this is the solution. No, you see like 10 bumbling idiots working together to figure it out 20 years ago.
I'll debate that. It's not bumbling idiots. Usually if you add Reddit to the end of your question,
They'll pretend to be experts, but it's bumbling idiots.
no, these are people who this is the only thing they do.
Oh yeah, true facts.
Like, this and Reddit are the only thing they do. If you like, how do I fix the alternator on my 2007 Kia Sedona? Reddit. You'll have like 10 people who have fixed that single part on a 2007 Kia Sedona 50 times over, and they'll give you a step-by-step guide with like visual instructions all over. It's insane.
Oh no, it's great. I don't know what we do without the boards, and I think that keeps the internet alive. But I do think Google search has become like utterly useless. It's just ads.
I did see a social study recently of somebody who had found that a lot of like younger Gen Z kids were going to TikTok with Google searches over Google, but for the same reason we go to Reddit, because usually they found that the kids that were going to TikTok were, instead of finding like 10 like BuzzFeed articles that were like 10 ways you can fix the alternator in your 2007 Kia Sedona, number 6 might surprise you, they were just finding people who were like videoing themselves doing it.
Oh, okay.
And then I talked to my sister. She's like younger. She's still in high school. Same thing. She goes to TikTok with a question, not Google.
That's no. Honestly, I do. I agree. I think that it's fully become more useless. And this person even mentioned like the dead internet theory doesn't sound that nuts anymore. Which I've not done any reading into that, but I want to. And
dead internet theory?
Yeah. We'll cover that next episode.
That's unique.
It sounds like it's.
We'll do our research and then we'll let you know.
Anyway, next unpopular opinion. This one's American. This is aggressively American. This is only an American problem, maybe a Canadian one too. Lifted pickup trucks with LED headlamps should be outlawed.
Yeah.
Okay, now hear me out on this, right?
Nope.
No, hear me out on this. I agree with you unless I am in the lifted pickup lot.
Nope.
Then it's okay. That's my exact ethos. That's the only reason I want to drive pickups, is because I vividly remember one of my first night drives ever. I'm just doing my thing. I'm driving around. It's all nice, right? It's all normal, dark. I can see everywhere, right? And then this F-150 pulls up behind me. And it's like that dusk time when the lights are turning up, but not quite, right? It's automatic. And I guess it was at that perfect moment where his sensor went off and the lights just washed my car. I mean, like, it was a bright white light from behind me. That mirror reflected into this side. That mirror reflected into this side. And I legitimately could not see a thing for all of 5 seconds. And then the next year I bought a pickup truck. That was so terrible to me that I had to buy a large car. And then it was pretty nice. Night driving was awesome again. Now I'm back in a smaller car, and night driving's terrible. But eventually I'll be back in a pickup. And when I am, I will be very pro LED lights. Because it's an arms race to me. It's an arms race.
Good luck with that when gas gets above like $7.
They're making electric trucks. They're making electric trucks. Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Like the F-150 Lightning. Oh, yeah.
Okay, then enjoy your Cybertruck. You
That
won't be
one
able to-
is never releasing.
You will never
That
be able
is
to
the
mount
Tesla,
a light bar.
That is a Tesla Roadster of trucks. Where it's just like this concept that doesn't even look that cool, I'll be honest. And looks like just a walking traffic violation. I mean, like, could you imagine being hit by that? It's got a sharp edge to it.
Yeah.
Cars should not have sharp edges.
No, they shouldn't.
It's why flip-ups went away, actually. Because when they were closed, the car would have a sleek front end, and it would just kill people.
Yeah. It would just
Straight 'em up,
shear
people.
you in half.
Part of why SUVs and trucks in the U.S. have this just awful, ungodly, like 6-foot flat bumper where it's just like, if you hit me, yeah, it's gonna be very unpleasant, but I'll probably live.
Funnily enough, that's killing kids, though.
Yeah, well, they overdid it is the thing, because now it's so big you can't see an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
But
No, you can't see 8-year-olds.
oh yeah, they did that video.
They did that study, or not the study, but like they just, took your
No, yeah, they
average
just lined them up.
8-year-old kid and lined them in front of like I think it was a Chevy Tahoe,
F-150 probably.
and they just kind of stacked the kids in front of the Tahoe until the person driving could see it, and they got to like the ninth kid, they could see like the top of their head.
Yeah, no, I fully get it. So I think they're a menace until I'm in one. Because I'll admit it when I'm a hypocrite. Until I'm in one. And then it's fair game. Until because the thing I don't like is when people are like, oh no, I think they're terrible, as he climbs into his G-Wagon. Like, what?
No.
Like, what? No. I'm very consistent. I hate them
Now
until I'm in one.
here's my
then I
unpopular
love
opinion.
them.
I hate the G-Wagon. I don't like the way it looks.
Well, you're going to hate where some of this podcast money goes. You are going to hate where some of this podcast money goes. Let me just tell you that right now.
No.
It's such a classic design. It's timeless.
buy a
It's
Jeep.
Benz at its best.
Just buy a Jeep.
Sadly, more reliable than a Jeep.
Just buy a Jeep.
No. It's literally more reliable than a Jeep. You know that, right?
Just buy a Jeep.
Like,
you don't buy a Jeep for reliability.
No. It's not that Jeeps are unreliable. It's that they are the most unreliable vehicles on the road. They have their own form of death wobble.
Yeah.
Like the death wobble of, oh God, this is unpleasant. I think I need to take the car to the shop. Jeeps have their own version of, oh God, this is terrible.
Yeah.
And it's like uniquely Jeep and much worse somehow.
You don't buy a Jeep for reliability.
I know many a man with Jeeps, and man, so cool. Don't get me wrong, the front end, just cool. The ability to knock doors off in the summer, so cool. But like, it's such a lemon from the lot till the day you die. It's just a good looking one.
You buy a Jeep if you're 24, you live in Northern California, and you want to go spend some time on the beach with your friends getting drunk.
Not necessarily though. Because there's also, no. The thing about the Jeep, the reason it's so popular is it hits every market, right? They're popular in the South because you can just pile in a bunch of buddies in there in the summer, knock the doors off, and just go have a blast, right? They're popular there too because you can go camping. They have the Jeep truck, right? So you can put a camper back
The
there.
truck.
Yeah, right? So it hits so many target markets, and it's such a classy, timeless design that they get away with selling one of the most unreliable cars ever made.
You don't buy a Jeep for reliability.
Like, the only thing that's worse is the Corvair, and that's only because it was declared unsafe at any speed. That's it.
You don't buy a Jeep for reliability.
Well, and let me be clear. Most unreliable American-made car. I'm sure you could find me an Italian car that breaks in 2 miles. Congratulations. You found every Alfa Romeo. Good for you. But as far as American car makers who really don't have their act together, being the worst of them is kind of impressive.
Some of them don't have their act together
Buick
on
doesn't
purpose.
have their act together. GMC doesn't have their act together.
Some of them
Chevy
don't
has
have their acts together on purpose.
No, that's the Germans.
Planned obsolescence.
No, that's the Germans.
There's an F word I'm looking for.
The F-150?
No. Well, I mean, yes, but no.
What F word?
Well, I mean, the people who make the F-150.
Oh, Ford.
Yeah.
No. I'll give Ford credit because their trucks. Okay, no.
Ford has been doing planned obsolescence since Henry Ford, the first Henry Ford, ran the joint.
Yes, And that's cool and all. But then they would not have the reputation that they have for heavy duty work. You would not convert an unreliable, planned, obsolete vehicle into an ambulance. And that's what they're turned into. Like, yes, I don't like Ford, right? Like, except for the Bronco, because I think that is a home run in every regard, right? Like styling, engine, interior. It genuinely is one of the few cars poised to kill a Jeep. Because it's just that competently put together, right? But anyway, it's either that or Dodge Rams. They turn them either or. But Ford, what they do is they miss with their motors every now and then, but they have some very reliable ones. Like there's this one engine in the early 2000s that will just last you for hundreds of thousands of miles with very little maintenance. There's a new one that came out.
Is that a Mercedes Paramedic?
Yes. In Europe, we're not very bright about what we choose to make our police cars. Fun fact, in England, BMW guys are going to hate this. The cop car predominantly was a BMW 5 Series, I believe, right? And they proved so unreliable that the police had to drill out their engine blocks to render them useless and switch to a new vehicle. Yes. And that's why I think the Germans are far worse when it comes to planned obsolescence, because they know it. They're really good at their jobs. Germans make some of the best looking cars, best handling cars, fastest cars that will break in 5 miles. No. The second mile, you're over your warranty, they'll break.
That's hilarious.
That is exactly how they work.
That is really actually hilarious.
Right? And then BMWs. So that's why I give American automakers crap, because they do this by mistake, and I'm okay with that. But the Germans do this on purpose, because I have no doubt in my mind, if the minds at BMW, if the minds at Porsche would never do this, they have their own thing going on, and God bless them. If the minds at Benz put their heads together and they're like, no, we want to make a car that will run ad infinitum, they could. They literally could. I have no doubt about it. But they choose not to. They choose to add bells and whistles that will inevitably break, because they don't sell cars. They sell lease machines to keep you trapped forever. They're very comfortable lease machines.
Just buy a Toyota Corolla.
Well, I mean, I get how they get you, because when you sit in a Benz, there's really not much else like it.
Just buy a Toyota Corolla.
But then you have to take it to the shop, and then there's really not much else like that bill.
Just buy a Toyota Corolla.
I mean, really, right?
If it breaks, there are 50 others that you can scavenge parts from. Buy a Toyota Corolla.
If you're poor. If you're rich and you can afford to, go for it. Like, again, I'm not joking. The second this has attraction for G-Wagon money, it's G-Wagons. I'll be getting 8 to the gallon again.
Toyota Corolla.
G-Wagon.
Toyota Corolla.
Like yesterday.
I just need a reliable Toyota Corolla. I have better things to spend my money on than something that gets me from point A to point B.
I don't.
Oh.
And welcome to the car community. That's really what it boils down to. I don't. So that's like, if you strip all of that away, that's really what it boils down to. But I will not lie, cars, there's something special about working on a car with your kid. There's something special about leaving that for your kid. Because, I mean, think about it this way. If your dad drove a car and truly loved it, like this performance machine, truly loved it, drops dead one morning, there's something surreal about being able to step in that car and everything is as he said it. Everything is as he said it. The suspension is how he tuned it. The engine is how he set it up. The seat's set up the way he wanted it to. And then you can drive that and understand why dad loved this, or what the was wrong with dad.
Sure, but I'm a camera geek. And so I can get the same thing, but cheaper. The one thing I say is I actively benefit from the car community's stupid business decisions or financial decisions, because I do a lot of car photography.
No, I will be honest.
So, I mean, I keep doing what you're doing. Thank you. You're helping me out. But I couldn't.
Yeah, no,
I couldn't bring myself to spend that much money on a car.
I could. I've had the benefit of knowing some very smart, wealthy people and some very wonderful people in my life who've really hammered in the importance of where you put your money. Now, again, the second I can justify it, you're seeing cars on the channel. I mean, the penny. This is another one of those things. The penny. It can be justified. You're going to be seeing cars. Like and I'll bring a penny into the podcast. Sure. Why not? I'll do it. Right. But let's bring on the last unpopular opinion for the day. Right. And That would be, I like the toxicity in online gaming.
No.
Yes.
No.
No, yes. No, here's the thing. There's a very specific kind, because there's icky toxicity, right? But there's that surreal Call of Duty Christmas morning where, and I remember this vividly because I was a kid, right? You bought the game in November, and you've been on this game for a bit. And then there's the people who got it for Christmas. They hop on, they're ready for the first game. There's no skill-based matchmaking. It's all open mic, and you have the meta down. You know the maps, and it's just making sure they have a terrible time while you yell at them for just hours and hours on end. And I genuinely think that if every day on Call of Duty was like that, therapists would be out of business. There would be no need. I was such a happier person back then.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, the rage and sweatiness that I see from
Rage and sweaty is different.
the
Like,
toxicity
there's people
that
who get into like slurs and stuff.
that
No,
brand of toxicity that I see on like COD lobbies, I would say you'd probably be better off like, I don't know, weird business model. Maybe we just have like a gym that sets up a bunch of like child-sized punching bags and you just punch the shit out of them and scream at them. Because that's effectively what you're doing when you're like walking into a COD lobby like that. You're just kicking the shit out of 12-year-olds.
Well, no, but it's not the same. Because I remember in Call of Duty, you'd like beat somebody and you'd be talking smack, and then they'd be like struggling to get their mic in order, telling their mom, quit vacuuming, Mom, right? And like I the whole time you're just dominating, right?
Yeah, you can have that going over the speakers in the gym.
No, it's not the same. It's not the same. GTA is the closest you can get to that, and that's just full of modders nowadays. So such a shame. But no, I kind of agree. But a certain brand of toxicity. Toxicity around your inadequacy at the game. Yes, I miss that. I really do miss that. The modern kind of toxicity where it's like somebody acts up and their address is leaked.
Yeah, that's bad.
I've seen that before in a game.
That's
like,
bad.
Oh yeah. Do you live here? The person leaves the game. Yeah, that's a bit much.
That's a bit much.
But no, I totally right. We covered the last one, which was the voice one. This is today's question of the day, right?
Yes.
Or conundrum, I suppose.
Conundrum of the day?
Yes. You have problem, we fix problem.
I mean, you're changing the acronym from QOD to COD.
Yeah, Call of Duty. Yeah, no, basically that's what it
I
boils
see
down
what
to.
you did there.
Because having that external kind of set of eyes on a life problem can sometimes reveal how easy, the solution is. Like, really, because sometimes I'll be sat there befuddled, and then somebody will be like, oh, no, it's just this.
I mean, humans are like group and social-minded creatures, so it is literally just better to ask for help and have people like give you a little bit of advice, some pointers, get you situated in the right direction.
No, literally.
Yeah.
And so today's question comes from a guy, and he didn't mention how old he was, but he's got to be like 23, 24 is what it sounds like.
20-something.
And he says, I failed a tremendous... It's a bit long, by the way. So, get comfy. He says, I failed a tremendous amount. I would have been in a way better position if I just stuck to a mediocre path for money. I had a job opportunity after high school. Normal wage is about $14 an hour, but I didn't stick with it and went for college instead. I'm now in my early 20s, and I've had to pay very little rent up to this point. If I stuck with that job, I legitimately could have had about $100,000 or $150,000 saved up. Instead, I went to college for a few years and took some breaks between semesters, dropped out, and it turns out I really didn't like it. At least there wasn't anything in college that had a field I felt was necessary for me to get a degree for to succeed. I became depressed, lost, hopeless, and jobless for about 2 years. Now I'm incredibly broke, no car, no job, but I still have a roof over my head at the moment. I haven't been able to live my life much because I don't have a car, but I've had some friends to hang out with still, and I'm looking for a job at the moment. If I only focused on money first instead of blindly going to college to appease family, I would have been far better off. I've wasted so much time, and I would have been in an amazing position with the money I could have saved. That one's very serious, right? First thing I'd like to commend the guy for is he's still positive, like throughout it all, like because it doesn't sound like things are going great, but he still mentioned like he's got some friends to come over, and he's still got a roof over his head. That's two very good things that not everybody has.
Yeah, that is. I mean, when you're like so low down, it is really good to focus on. I think you mentioned in one of the last episodes, like gratitude. Like
This
gratitude.
guy's practicing that.
Gratitude is one of the biggest things that will keep you happy in a bad situation, or if you're like if you're in a position of you're set and you don't know what the hell to do with your life anymore. Gratitude for the things that you have keeps you grounded and like level.
And so I'm going to answer this from a couple of perspectives. One, directly to the guy, and another in a more general kind of approach, right? Mm-hmm. And the first thing the guy's doing is it's very easy. He's doing the thing that every guy does, where they think about it in the best case scenario. Like, yeah, sure. In a perfect world, had you stayed at that 14 an hour job, been promoted up to like even 20 an hour, right? You still probably wouldn't have $100K saved up in the time it took you to go to college, because your lifestyle typically catches up to how much you make. That's a fact, right? Not to mention the government. I don't know where you live, but taxes tend to take a lot of it, right? So that's the first thing I want to clear up, because like, I don't want to shoot this down. You would have had a good amount of money, but not six figures saved up.
No.
You would have bought something. You're like in that peak zone for like stupid impulse purchases. So if you had that kind of money lying around, oh yeah. Right?
Especially if you're in your 20s,
There's some people.
There is so many stupid things you can buy in your 20s when you feel like, oh, I'll set aside money later. Yeah.
There's some people who are true ascetics and they can manage it. Most can't, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is entirely changes if like you're in your mid 20s, right? And it's like, oh, this is like, I could have been here for 6-7 years. Then you could have had 100K. Like literally you could have.
Yeah.
Right. But so that's the first thing I want to clear up. Don't be too hard on yourself. You have not tossed the ball yet. You still have plenty of time. You still have a roof over your head. Cars, you can get a Honda Accord for like $2,000.
You can get a Honda if you're really desperate. You can get a Honda Accord for $500.
You could get a Golf, a Volvo, anything for like a couple $100, and you'll be able to move. It won't be great. It'll probably be mildew, but you'll be able to get.
Yeah, it'll be your cheap beater. You use that to save like 4 months. Like if you don't need to worry about rent or food or anything like that.
Yeah,
you just save all of your money and put it into the car if that's your first priority.
And then the first thing I want to like make sure that everybody knows is, as kids, we were all told, go to college, go to college, go to college. Doesn't matter what for, it'll figure itself out, right? And that's just not the case. That's really not the case. Like, I personally think college is a good fit for a lot of people, but I think you need to know what you're doing it for, right? That way you're not, like, waffling about. You need to know, like, oh, I want this degree because I like this and it pays this, right? Like, if you want to go to college to be a civil engineer, go for it.
Yeah.
That's a plan. I want to go to college to be a lawyer, a doctor. That's a plan. Computer engineer, even though they're cutting jobs left, right, and center right now. Still, that's a plan, right?
Well, even then, you can learn computer engineering, at least the software side of it, yourself.
No, but like the degree, the piece of paper.
The piece of paper opens the door, but you can go for like a 2-year degree for that, and that's a whole lot cheaper. But the key there, still touching on what you said, is you need to plan for that. You need to know this is what I want to do.
If you don't know what you're doing in college, do the 2 years of community and figure it out. And if you still can't, honestly, look into trade schools, because that also helps. And the main thing to remember with all of these things, be it a trade school, be it a college degree, is it's the ground beneath your feet. That's kind of it, right? College degrees have been tied to better financial outcomes. Right? Like if you've graduated college, it's just more likely you'll make money, right? It could be the kind of person who finishes college. There's a lot of factors that go into it, right? But you just have to remember that that's the floor, and the better your floor, the higher you can build.
Yeah.
So just think of it as that. Don't think of it as the thing that's going to make you money. Think of it as part of your foundation that you get to build off of, right? Because if you choose a computer engineering degree and you go to work, you'll probably make a good couple millions before you die, right?
Yeah.
But like if you choose a computer engineering degree and then you build a business out of that, sky's the limit there. As I'm sure we've been aware with the last set of billionaires just rotating, right?
Yeah, the big tech billionaires who have just cycled through over the last 10 years.
Yeah, I think the big major thing is you have to do something once you leave high school. That's a fact. If I was a father and my kid just sat there deciding, no, you have to do something, right? What matters is like put your back into it, right? So just be honest with your parents. Like, I don't know if I want to do college. The debt's very scary. I'll do 2 years while I try and figure this out. And you genuinely get good grades. no parent's going to be mad at you for that, right? Or if you're like, I'm not sure if college is for me, but I want to try this welding course near me, right? I wouldn't be mad as a dad, right? I mean, I'd warn you, like, yeah, it's gonna beat on your body, but other than that, if you really like it, go for it, right? So
Honestly, welding is one of the trades that's the least taxing on your body.
yeah, it's still taxing on your body.
It's taxing on your lungs, is what I've heard. Because
either way,
the
a
vapors.
desk job is cushier,
Yeah.
right? That's what matters, right? So just think of it as your foundation, and remember, you have to build off of that, right? And no parent will be mad at you if you're genuinely trying and working hard to figure it out, right? Like, I can't think of a single parent who's like, yeah, mom, I'm not in college, but I've genuinely been trying to start a business. I've failed 3 times, right? But I've been taking the money from my job to like funnel into this.
Yeah.
And each time I'm learning X, Y, and Z. In the meantime, I'm also looking at college courses, and this is what I've learned. Like, if my kid gave me those kind of status updates, I'd be over the moon. You're doing something. The problem is a lot of people say, oh, college isn't for me. I'm going to figure it out in my room playing League.
Yeah. And then they do not a whole lot.
And then they let life figure it out for them. And life is mean, unless you have rich parents. Life is mean, right?
Yeah.
Because rich parents, or just that kind of influence, they have the power to tip the scales for you. But if you don't have that, you're like, if life has to pick for you, you're screwed.
Yeah.
You may get lucky. Life may pick something nice for you. Normally it doesn't. Normally it really doesn't. So you have to pick for yourself. So the key is, no matter what you do, be it college, be it trades, be it entrepreneurship, you choose. Nobody else does it for you. That's the biggest thing. And that's how you avoid being in a situation like him. For him personally, I'd say, dude, it's definitely not over. You still have time to decide. Like, yeah, it feels like you've chucked it all away at early 20s, but most people live to 80. You're fine. You'll be just fine. You'll figure it out. And don't be so harsh on yourself because, frankly, while you're being positive on a lot of things, you're also being...
He's not
dragging
doing.
yourself down.
He's not doing the thing that a lot of people have done, where they're like in their late 20s and they've done nothing, and they haven't had the friends either, and they're going, "I've squandered my youth."
No.
Like, he's saying, I've had the friends, I have the ability to have a good time. I just need to get my financial and my life and my career on path, which there's time to do that.
And part of it is like why we have, as a generation, so much anxiety is because previously wealth was kind of shared between the generations. For the first time in a while, I think, baby boomers are kind of holding most of it.
Yeah.
And they're holding it with an iron grip. So that leaves us to fight over the crumbs, resulting in every guy on the planet being perpetually anxious about their financial situation. But don't worry, you'll figure it out. Just whatever you do it with intent. That's really what matters. And you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And that wraps up the episode for this week. Thank you for tuning in to episode 6 of the podcast. And we will see you on Friday for episode 7.